Hello, good evening. Here we are on a Monday evening, and it is time for another veteran spotlight. Our guest here today is ready. Our co host and my dear friend support, Colonel Amit Verma, is ready. And me, your host, Preeti Chaudhary, all of us are ready. Just before we start this conversation, a quick reminder of a couple of things. This is a conversation and a dialogue. So please let those questions and comments keep coming in into the comment section of this LinkedIn Live. This is your host, Preeti Chaudhary, again, and it is a Monday evening of yet another episode of Veteran Spotlight. And our guest today, Captain Sanghamitra Boreddy. Let me get her into the stream and we will get started. Hello, good evening, Sanghamitra.
Good evening, Preeti. Good evening, all.
How are you today? All well?
I'm good, Preeti. All well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And I'm raring to go to get this conversation started to learn a bit more about yourself, your journey as a person, as an army person, and then as a corporate person. So many transitions happening all around there. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into the conversation because I'm sure it will add a lot of value to everybody that's tuned in today. So, just to set the context here, Sangamitra, tell me a little bit more about your family background, where you're from, your immediate family environment, siblings, the kind of atmosphere at home, a little bit about school as well. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Preeti. First of all, I'm completely honored to be on this platform today and to share my personal journey and professional journey with the bigger community out here. So, thanks for this lovely evening and giving me the opportunity to talk and share my thoughts. So, coming to my personal background, um, it was not very different. It was very smooth and comfortable since my father was in army and he worked for no, Indian Army for almost 28 years. So we have been to various parts of India since the posting was there after every 2 years, and we have to keep moving our schools from one KV to another KV, from one CBSE school to another CBSE school. And yes, I don't remember exactly. I know, like, my mother, she had a tough time managing all alone. We being from South India, talking in Hindi, she was not comfortable in all the PTMs, what the principal or the teachers are talking about. So she learned Hindi, then she started teaching me Hindi. So lot of struggle was there because without father staying in some locations, it's always difficult. But it is very strong lady, women, they can really bring that confidence in you. So for me, I connect a lot with the entire India because I studied all my education in northern part. And then when I was into my 11th and 12th classes, where my father was feeling I should uh, get settled in one location where I can focus on my education. So that was the time he brought us down to the south, to Hyderabad, and he
Okay.
said, like, now this is the location where we will not move until you all finish your professional education and get a job and get independent.
Lovely.
And
So tell me something. Is it just you in the family? Any brothers,
yeah,
sisters?
so in the family, yes, I have an elder sister, and she's 2 years elder to me, and she always wanted to be a doctor. And she completed her medicine, and she is settled in US since last 15 years. And we both are like girls at home. So me being the younger one, so I had freedom to kind of take any challenges or to experiment. And no, if I fail, I used to fail a lot because sometimes my decisions used to be impulsive when I was a child. But definitely I will have some accident at the end of the day, but there'll be a lot of learning out of that, and then I will see next time how can I make it more successful.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of learnings, lot of sort of self-imposed kind of explorations and so on, which is great. And I think as a second child in the family, the elder one might have been with all the responsibility, and here you were taking all the freedom and all the liberty. I think that's great. So, I think going to the army, going to the forces was a foregone conclusion because your dad was already in it. So, that is what you did, basically you did your schooling and then you sort of took your SSCs, and then you got through. So I want you to take us a little bit through, the next phase in terms of how you got into the forces, maybe a little bit of your training, and then I will come to the deployment later. But for first, how did you get in, and how was the training like? What was the atmosphere? Were there any learnings from this part of your journey? Over to you.
Thank you, Preeti. So, like when I was in my professional engineering course, and there was an option for me to either go for mechanical or for computers. And I told my father, saying that no, I want to pursue something where I can connect to what I'm studying. So I went for the mechanical field. And, like in the third year and fourth year, there is a lot of competition where students keep going for those higher education plan, and they keep exploring the other options after engineering. Should they go to other regions or look at for some job? For me, I was like one person in my college where I used to never sit for any campus placements. I never showed any interest even for any exams after engineering, because my mind was only very clear where I wanted to focus on my SSB and get through army. So my father used to ask me, was there any campus placement today in the college? So I used to say like, no, it was just an IT company, very small IT company, and they took only one or two candidates, not many. And I told him only in the final year when there was a army notification which came out in the paper, and I read the paper, and it was just like, you have to immediately apply for that because there is some age criteria and the bar. So I told my father, Dad, let me go for this, and then I will be doing what you need, what you want me to do. So he said, no, this is not what I was expecting, because I know the road is tough. It is not as easy what you keep doing all the mistakes here at home. It is not what you think, because this is really very tough training, and you think everything is fun, and this is not just going to fun because you will bleed in the academy. It is tough training, trust me. With you in the overweight, where I was like almost 65 kgs, this doesn't suit you. Training is tough, and he was not much supportive to me, because he was thinking maybe I am just getting attracted to the forces just because it looks very good from outside. But maybe at the end of the day, I may not do justice to the role once I get into that. So I said, okay, leave that part. At least let me go, give my try. And if I don't succeed in my first attempt, I will not try for the second attempt. So he said, fine, I'll just, I'm here to guide you, but I'll not force you. It's up to you to take this decision. So when I went, Preeti, for my interviews and everything went good. As I said, my medicals, I got really struck because of my weight. And when I came back with my temporary rejection, I told my father, like, now you have to really help me. You have to really guide me. How should I be fit, come to 50 kgs, 51 kgs? He said that is dream not possible for you, since this is a big challenge to reduce that in 3 to 4 weeks, which is just not going to work out the way you eat, the way you people keep eating all the time. So very difficult. No, I told him like, this is my dream. Just no, you try to help me. You please make me get up at 4 o'clock, and let's start doing this. And within 3 weeks, I could reduce my weight. He helped me a lot, at least in making me get up, do cycling and all this. And finally, when I cleared SSB, I cleared my medicals, everything. I was very happy. And he again told me, don't jump. You will have this happiness saying that I cleared SSB, but I have not joined. But you can join some softer job, because which is very comfortable to you. But that was my mother and my sister who really understood like how passionate I am, because they used to feel that interest, that zeal in me, and they used to tell my father, "Let her go for 5 years. Let her work, with lot of confidence and determination. At least she will turn up to be a very polished officer, or a good human being, with lot of discipline and responsibility. That is what you are looking at the end of the day." So he said, hopefully, I see a different girl, I see a different daughter. Let's see, let's hope. So that was all the discussions at home. And I joined academy in 2004.
So that's good, overcoming personal challenges, actually being so motivated for something that you make it a point to tell yourself that you are going to achieve it no matter what. And then seeking mentorship, support, guidance from your immediate family. Obviously, your father, because he is or he was in the forces, so he would be the best bet to sort of take you through those nuances. So I think a learning curve straight there, to be having an open mind to seek out, to reach out for help. And I think that is one of the most important traits we as human beings can have. Never mind professional, never mind personal, that's the basic human trait I think we all should have. Tell me something, any story, anything jumping out from your academy days in terms of something that has helped shape you or that has made you the person you are today? You want to share something like that with us? Over to you.
Yeah, definitely, Preeti. So, what we all see from outside, it is not what it's inside. They try to take out the best from you, and even you don't realize what is your strength. I mean, you have never expected or dreamt of doing something, different things, different activities in your life, and week on week they want to see that progress in your endurance, in your physical strength, mental strength. So when I joined academy, I mean, within first 2 weeks, it was like a game changer for me because I was never in sports. I was never in NCC. Whatever I used to do sports, it was all for fun. Because I used to like any sport, I used to play. I never had that kind of a mindset where I have to win. I always had like I have to be a team player. I have to be in a team of game sports. So I never even experienced what is like all about NCC. How is it even to be away from your parents? So everything like came as a big learning for me because it was first time I was away from my home, and the first call I used to make to my home was like, I'm missing everything. I'm missing the food. I'm missing the environment. I can't see you because they don't allow here to catch up with you, or you can't come down here. Everybody is so busy in their day-to-day work. So I used to really then started talking with my friends who were with me in the training, and then you make something like in the academy which we call as buddy. So I mean the buddy becomes your lifeline. You talk to your buddy, you share with your buddy, and no sometimes even like you start sharing what you share with the family. So the buddy is like your secret box. And you sometimes fight, you sometimes pull each other, and you are there for each other to in those troubled times. So in the academy, there was a lot of learning, Preeti. When I say everybody goes with some kind of a thought, okay, I have seen NCC, I have seen something, but everybody feels that as a a lot of learnings when they are actually in the training academy. So we used to have a very tough training again. Ours being the summer batch, we had the Chennai peak heat, and that itself was a training for us to take those high temperature heat, and on top of that training, and then we had a lot of extracurricular activities where in the academy, one thing, if you want me to summarize, I can say it's not about you winning, it's about your team winning. So
Absolutely.
initially when there is something like a punishment or something like a activity, I used to run and I used to come first. So they used to say, go back again, do it, because it is not you who has to come first. It is your team, your people of 4 or 5. You have to pull your team and come first. So we started realizing, okay, let's all reach together the finish line. Let's all together show, no, the officer, the instructor, like we have that team spirit. Though you come last, they just don't mind at all. I mean, that is what I learned no, big time. You come last, but as a team you can come last. Even if you come as an individual first, that is never appreciated. So this was a big
Yes.
learning, and this always keeps helping me in my life. It's not about me success, it's about taking my team further. And just one example here, Preeti, just before our show was about to start, I got a call on my phone. I was
Yeah.
talking with my ex teammate, and he called me and he said, I'm so happy today I got promoted. So I was really very happy. So I said, it's all because of your hard work. So he said, no, because you initiated this and you left. So now it's all because of that. It has come through. So I said, that's good, but it's all about your hard work and everything. So it's all about your teamwork. It's not about your success. I would have left the company. I would have moved out from the team, but it is always nice to see your team growing.
Absolutely. So, I mean, when you lift others, you get lifted. Basically, that is what the essence is. And you're right in saying that, you're always looking after each other. When you are in the course together, your course are your lifelines, your buddies, as you say. They are your closest confidant. They are your friends. They are your family. They are your foes. They everything rolled into one because there's no other outside support or there's no outside contact even for those 3 4 years over there. So,
Yes,
absolutely, totally on board. Before we move on, here is a quick reminder for the audience once again today. Please put in your questions and comments for Sanghamitra. We will be taking them up. Maybe we will be taking them up as and when the conversation goes along or towards the end. If it is in line with what we are currently talking about, we'll just keep picking up questions from the chat box. So please make sure you write those questions and comments into the comment section of this LinkedIn Live. This is Veteran Spotlight with me, your host Preeti Chaudhary, and our guest here today is Captain Sanghamitra Boreddy. We also have our dear friend Colonel Amit Verma here, and he will be a part of this conversation. Maybe talking to you about the transition aspect of your story, but before that, let us quickly come to the next very important thing in your life. And I think it's done best from another person from the forces. So I think I will invite Colonel Amit into this conversation, and he will carry on in terms of your deployment, and then we will slowly move to your transition. So let's say a quick hello to Amit right here. Hi Amit, all yours buddy.
Hi, Preeti.
We've spoken about Sanghamitra's family background, we've spoken about
Okay.
her training, and now it's up to her deployment, so it's all yours.
I think a journey of a Fauji is after the academy because you were a trainee that time, a gentleman cadet or a lady cadet. Now you are in your element. You are wearing those stars on your shoulder. How was it as a feeling when you were deployed for the first time? How did the team react to you? How did you form your initial bonds? How did you find your feet in your first few years in the forces?
sure. Thanks so much, Colonel Amit. So, see, training was still the easiest part because you have your buddy, you have your team with you. You all share the joy and pain, and you, at the end of the day, you have the fun because you have the same set of people, and they keep motivating you, they keep pushing you. So, a lot of things are taken care when you are in the training because you also have an instructor there. You have ustads, you have so many brilliant people. Like when you join the uh, battalion or the company for the first time, and um, I mean, at least when we were commissioned that time, not long back, I'm just talking about 16 years back. So when we were commissioned, it was like not much of women officers, it was one per unit. So I was the only lady officer in my unit, and people used to talk. Sometime back in the past, 2 3 years back, there was a lady officer. So I mean, we used to just hear some of the stories, but what I used to make a note was like, why were they still? Why the people still remember them? What was a good thing they would have done? How did they behave? Because that is a first impression when you're joining your organization. So when I joined, for me, it was very different because training was given, but what you do in the unit is always day to day learning. It is always a new learning. Every day looks like you are learning day one. It is just hashtag day one. So you have somebody coming up to you, they say, this is not you have to do in this way. So there is a learning from each one of those soldiers in the unit, where you have to just keep your ears open, your eyes open, and you have to be very welcoming, accommodative. Okay, fine, let me try in this way. So when I joined initially, for me, it's being a very different location. Like I was posted somewhere in Noshera, so I can only see the green color. There was no color there in the location, so it was very different because I never expected. I mean, there will be some place like this, and there was no phone. There was nothing like I can really meet my course mate. I was dying to meet. I was at least dying to call my friends to ask if they are also sailing in the same boat, if they're also feeling the same experience. But you get somebody in the company where you have your mentor, your senior subaltern, and you keep asking them whatever question you have, because they say first 2 years keep asking, keep asking. You don't have to really categorize is this important, is this not important? So just keep asking. It can sometimes not a very good question, but at the end of the day you will understand whether you are talking, you are communicating your problems to them.
The challenge, if you would have realized, is that you have to listen to people before you can start telling them what to do. The learning comes
Yeah.
first, and then the teaching starts. So when you were in a position to help others, be it the team that you were commanding, or be it other officers, be it men or women, how did that role come about? How did you apply your learnings, and how did you help out them? Something like what we do know that a senior subaltern is supposed to do. So you would have got that chance. How did you go about that?
Yeah, so when I joined my first unit, so I mean, though I joined in EME, which is like more of dealing with your day-to-day work, where people you can still apply your some technical knowledge and say like, okay, I don't have on-the-job experience, but teach me on the job, and I will connect with my theory subjects. But at the end of the day, like when you run those 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers with them, you really need to keep taking your section forward. You have to really make sure like you don't stay back, and they have to really pull you because they see you finally with those ranks, and they really see you at a very high level. So one day I just walked up to my senior officer and I said, there is one training which has just come up, and it's called mountaineering. So I just want to get nominated for that. So he said, are you joking? I said, I know I'm not very strong, but I want to really learn about the training because it has come from our Army Adventure Wing. So I want to make sure like I can really go out for a month and take part in those expedition. So he said like, you have to really have the habit of mountain climbing, and you being from South India, where you have lived all your life in the plains. No, going up to mountains is not a easy thing. It is very tough mentally and physically. So I challenged. I said, no, just allow me for a month, and I'll come back. I'll not leave the course in between. I'll come back after successfully completing and after getting graduated. So he said, okay, fine. I went for the course. I got hurt in between. Still, I have the scars and marks on my legs. And it was really a tough training. And again, I can say in the academy, I had a course, I had a team who used to push. But in that training, everybody came from outside the world, like people from civil, people from other countries. So it was a mixed batch. And the moment they see you, somebody coming from army, so the expectations are very high. So straight away, I mean, I used to count myself out of five at one. So they started at least putting me at 4 or 5. So that was the expectations from my team, my instructor, and everyone. I said like, this is the first time I'm doing mountaineering and I have come for learning. So he said, but definitely I think you can motivate your team, you can pull them and everything. Successfully, like after 30 days when I got graduated, and I was so happy, like though this was very tough, but finally I could accomplish something which I never thought of.
Amit, are you here? So, while we are doing this, I think the next
Am
question
I audible
would be
now?
basically, yeah, you are audible now. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have the question coming in from Vaibhav for Sangha. Ma'am, please share how the challenges are for lady officers, if any, when they're transitioning out of forces. Vaibhav, we'll be taking up this particular part of her life now with Preeti. One more question before I hand over to Preeti, Sangha. We have a raging controversy which is going on with a movie right now, and it would be only correct for me to ask you, how was it that you felt was the interaction with the uniform? Because I do not think in the uniform I ever saw the gender or the race or religion ever play a part. So help us with that, because through the training, through your deployment, through your various tenures, how was that part of your interaction? Did you ever feel uncomfortable, or is there something that you need to tell people who are listening in today?
Sure. Very, very, very right. Very good question, relevant question. And with my experience, I can say I never faced anything where people wanted to create something, as a problem. There was nothing of that sort. But there was something like, as in the movie they show, or we had, because I was in Noshera, so we never had a proper accommodation. It was just like a sheet. So even if I talk something with my buddy, or if I talk something with the soldier, or with, with somebody, it is clearly audible to other portion of the rooms as well. So no, I mean, those were the situations
The
where we used to
privacy
live.
part definitely in field conditions. Yeah, that's always a challenge.
Exactly. Yeah, and then the washroom was a big issue, so I have to warm my water. I have to get in a bucket. Okay, I have to keep it inside the room, because there is no geyser. There is something like chula outside where they warm in a big vessel, and you have to put it in the bucket. You have to get. So we understand, like, this is how the system works here. When other people are doing, when the other officers are doing, I'll not get any special privilege, because I also have to lift. I also have to keep that in my backyard. Okay, I have to keep it for myself, and that is how the field operates at. So definitely, these all are the challenges when you're in field. But there is nothing like if somebody is getting and I am denied of that. It never happened to me. If somebody at my level or a senior person is getting something like a good facility, amenities, definitely we as well have those to lady officers. And when it comes to delegation, responsibilities, or any other task, if you are really capable of that, your senior boss never will say no, you are not supposed to do that job, or you don't have to really know. You will not get the opportunity to perform that. Definitely they will give you more work than your ability, than your time limit. So that will make you learn, get ready for the next role. That you will realize, and you will appreciate your senior boss when somebody goes on leave and you have to perform that role. Oh yes, definitely, this I was learning sometime in the back end.
I think what you said there is that people are so busy with their task and the number of officers is so critically short. Nobody's got time to create trouble for anyone. And more
Yeah.
than that is they need somebody capable to fill their shoes when they go on leave. So they will
Yes.
be teaching you so that when their leave application is put up, they can say, Sangha mera kaam kar degi, मैं छुट्टी जा रहा हूँ. And that's the
Yes.
confidence that people built up over time. That you don't see the uniform, the person in the uniform, as anything else but an instrument for getting the job done. It's all about getting
Yeah.
the job done. There is no issue beyond that. If you can get the job done, you're the person. You're the person,
Yeah.
you're the go-to person, and you are definitely now the person that Preeti would want to know as to how the transition happened into the corporate world. Best of
Yeah,
luck.
to that, Colonel Amit, one more thing too, very interesting to share. Like, I was posted in Bangalore with an institute
Yeah,
called
please.
OTMC. Uh, you must have heard OTMC. It is called fact ASMT, Army School of Mechanical Transport, where we get a lot of officers for the driving and maintenance course. So when I was posted here, we used to have every month one outdoor exercise where we start our convoy at around morning, like around 6 o'clock, and this entire exercise goes till 5 o'clock in the evening. And trust me, we go to some part of Bangalore which is not in the Bangalore. It is like from here around 100 kilometers, and it is all with those thick, jungles and greenery. And the moment I land there, I'll be very happy looking at that. And the challenge is like, again, for a lady officer or for somebody to spend whole day outside without the basic amenities, and something like, it's a big challenge. But I have to keep myself mentally prepared. Okay, I'm going for a day out. So I used to go to some resort which is there existing, or I used to drop into some petrol pump. Okay, I used to find or locate something for my convenience, and I used to then come back. Maybe another like 5 kilometers, if I just drive inside that area, I will find out something. So, you start exploring based on your needs, and you can't say no to your job, because you are required for that 10 hours outside of your office hours. And that's what, like, we keep learning. Okay, this is the challenge I will face after one or two outdoor exercise. Okay, third outdoor, I'm much prepared and I'm confident.
So that is what it is all about, isn't it?
That's
The
right.
transition or the job or whatever it is, once you're prepared, then you've had it. So Amit knows and I know, with transition, you did not have much choice because you were part of the short service commission, but definitely you might or might not have had a plan about it. So please share with both of us and the audience in general, did you have a plan for your transition? If yes, did it work out as you had envisioned? And if no, what do you think you could have planned back then when you were getting ready for your transition? Over to you. And Amit will add in between, back and forth. There will be questions coming into our mind, so we will be keeping it very conversational back and forth, because this area is very important for everybody tuned in out there to understand how that made or broke you as a person. So that is what we're trying to ascertain here. Over to you, Sanghamitra.
Sure. So Preeti, like, yeah, being short service officer, I had a plan to leave after 5 years, and really I started liking the job. I started liking the environment, so I said let me continue for another 5 years. And that was like, almost, no, I have to come out after 10 years, because another 4 years it doesn't matter. I mean, you'll also hit your age group on a higher side. So I took that as a target, like after 10 years I should plan to move to civil. So like, in my 8th year of service, when I was blessed with a first child, so it was a place called Pathankot, and my kid was born at that time. And I had a small accident. So we usually have our vehicles inspection going on. So my boss tasked me, like, till maybe 10 o'clock in the night we have to keep our repair bay clean, and there should not be any vehicle which is noticed which is not out from the workshop. So make sure everything is taken care. So we were working that day to make sure all the vehicles are proper and everything, the repair workstation looks good. So I was just taking a walk in the repair bay, and I did notice there was an ambulance which was standing in the pit which was made for small vehicles, and there was a narrow gap behind the ambulance. And since it was dark, and people went for the dinner, and they switched off the workshop lights, so I didn't notice. I was just taking a stock, and I just went to that location to see how comes the ambulance has come so late in the night, and we have to really attend those important vehicles. So I just went close. I didn't notice there is a small gap, and I just had a slip inside the pit, which was almost like a 6 feet, because people get inside and repair those vehicles. And that time maybe I was carrying with my first child. I was into my 7th month of pregnancy, and when I had a slip, my sixth sense worked out so well. Like, instead of falling on my front, I just made myself so that I fall on my sideways. And since the pit was lubricated, it was full of grease, I just like, it was just a slide. Even I didn't have that seconds to realize what's going on. I was just under the vehicle, and there was nobody on the floor. So I started shouting for help, and there was a person called Ganesh. I said, Ganesh, help me, I'm under the vehicle. So this guy was somewhere, and he heard my sound, and he came rushing, and they all holded my hand. They say, come out, and they just took me out from there. And afterwards I was admitted in the Pathankot base hospital, and then they said, no more you need to work, because you are suggested to be on bed rest, because there may be some complication if you start working and if you exert more. No And I was away from my family as well. So then I came down to Bangalore on my delivery. Everything went good. My child was good. Everything was good. Everything was fine. So though it was a tough time, yeah, it was a tough time, because at the end of the day, then so many things comes to your mind. So many people give you gan. You don't know, you are like in the 7th month, you have to really take care. You can't um, take those night risk and other things. Maybe my extended family members and other people. So I was really taking care of myself, and the child was good. Everything was really perfect. And after my leave, when I joined back unit, I was very clear, like, I'll not be able to manage with a small child. The reason being, all my family members, my in-laws are in south, and people supporting me not will be difficult. And for me, it is not a good point to ask for me, like, to ask them to come over to any place which they're not very comfortable with the language. Like, my in-laws don't know Hindi, so I can't ask them to be here with me all the time. So that was a time when I was very clear. I went back, I told my boss, I want to just voluntarily take the resignation. So he asked me, do you have any job in hand? I said no. Do you have anything in plan? I said no. I only know, like, I want to take care of my baby. I want to give time, attention to my baby, and I want to spend as much time. So it was okay, because we were in short service. I came out the one mistake which happened to me is like I came out of army, but I was never had any plan like for my transition, because that time the family pressure was more than the professional, thing there. So after coming out from army, I took some time to kind of realign myself for 6 months to see what is this industry about, what is like opportunities for me. Because people used to say like you have to think very wisely, because suppose if today you're joining in marketing, tomorrow you can't move to HR or security. So I mean, people will look your background, and that's where you grow. So then I was thinking, okay, let me at least look out what is the important thing for me, what is like I'll be getting in future, where I can get really attracted to the roles and other things. So I spent 6 months, and luckily when I was in Bangalore, again I would like to tell, like that was the time when I learned from a lot of senior officers here, like you have to keep adding to your education. Though you are serving in army, you have to keep upgrading yourself, like do any 1 year of logistic course, or do something like distance education, or do something. So I did some couple of courses when I was still serving. So I was
Okay.
just making understand whether I really like those courses. So it so happened like I started realizing I will be more uh, I can connect myself more to HR, and I should start looking at the job opportunities in HR. And that time LinkedIn was there, it was existing. So I started connecting with the people, I started connecting with the people whom I know. I started meeting my friends, I started meeting my college friends, I started meeting their friends. Because when you're in one town, so you'll have some opportunities to kind of network with people. And then I started looking out for some opportunities, and if something comes up, so I will first try to connect to the person in the company whom I know, or who can refer me to the HR, or somebody who can give any referral. Like when you apply on their portal, it doesn't give much impact, but if it goes through a referral, it really makes a lot of difference. So I started networking, I started understanding, like in LinkedIn is very powerful tool, one of the awesome tool where people can be reached out anytime, and you have to keep growing your network.
Lovely. So basically, you did not have a plan initially, but then you sort of improvised and you got your priorities right, and you said you're not going to let it all go away. You took 6 months to internalize and then found your niche, and that being your passion towards HR. So you sort of slowly moved into that direction. Amit, do you have anything to add or ask here at this moment in time? Otherwise, once you have done, then we will move to a couple of questions which I see into the comment box. Over to you, Amit.
Definitely, we have some very good comments and questions. But before going to there, Sangha, help me with this part here. The transition is now happening. That you have moved out of the uniform. Now you're in the civil street. Does it happen overnight or does it take time? Because even I'm a person who's retired just last year. I've retired in December. So I've not even put in 1 year in the civil street. What is it that you changed and what is it that you maintained on? I have seen a very strong streak in you where you care for your team, but you also care for making sure that your impact is felt. I've seen it come across in your words and the way you have approached your life, because those are not easy things to happen to anyone. And you have been able to take them in your stride and move ahead. So help me here. How long does this transition actually happen?
Okay, sure. So, Colonel Amit, like when I came out from Pathankot, I was in station in Bangalore, and so I used to get job calls. I mean, from Naukri, where my CV was there. So they used to say like those days, this virtual interview was not much. They want to have face-to-face interview, so they used to call me, come to Hyderabad, come to Chennai. So I used to tell like I have a small baby. Can we talk on phone at least first 1 or 2 rounds, so that the third round can happen face to face. But they said no, you will miss the opportunity, you have to come to Hyderabad. So then I have to tell them like, okay, give me some time, let me plan my travel next week to Hyderabad, and then I can appear for interview. So the moment I go to Hyderabad, then there used to be another call which says like there is an interview in Bangalore. I mean, we don't know whether these are really going to help you, because getting interviews is still like, some company, some role, they would have picked up your profile, and recruiters also want to make no at least some yield, saying that okay, we have interviewed some 15 people, at least first round knock off, something like that. So I mean, they used to call me between Hyderabad, Chennai and Bangalore a lot. So after a time I said, no, this is not going to help me because I don't know this consultancy. I don't know from where they're calling. I don't know for which company they're selecting me, and it will just waste your time. You start building up those expectations. Okay, I got a call, and definitely I'll get that job. It may not happen. I mean, that recruiter just called you for the first round face to face, second round face to face, but the third round is like it's a long way to go. So then I said, no, this way I can't waste my time because I had a target to join after my baby turns 1 year because I wanted to feed my baby for a year and then I want to really join back. And then what I did was like there was a job which came on LinkedIn from the automobile industry in Bangalore, TVS Motors. So there I had a one network connection, and he was from RT. He was an artillery officer. So I connected with him. I asked him, there is an opportunity in the HR. So will you be able to refer me? He said, yeah, I'm so glad I can refer you, ma'am. Definitely. So I can refer you. I mean that word itself was enough for me because rest I can take care of it because it's a big industry. Getting that referral was really helpful. And after that, I got a call, and there was a couple of rounds which happened, and finally I got into the job. But Colonel Amit, the lesson which I learned was like, though I was getting a lot of interviews, which never was to my satisfaction, these recruiters start playing because they know you are looking for a job, right? You have just come out and you were in your family break, I mean, the maternity break or the child break, and you are very eager to join at a low salary pay or a bracket. So they try to kind of sometimes attract or take you on the roles.
This particular part where you said about the salary and that a few of these recruiters or even the companies maybe they see the urgency and they mistake it for desperation. Uh, let's not. I at least personally don't get carried away by the fact that they will be respecting everybody in uniform. They're doing a business job over there. They want to hire the best talent for the money that they want to pay. But were they paying the correct remuneration to you in the first year when you joined, or did it take off after they had seen your value, after seeing you performing, and then maybe the transition happened into a better sphere where you are now?
Yeah. So on the first transition, I still remember like these recruiters, they never reveal the company. I mean, they say it's one of the US based MNC client. I mean, I asked them, what is this client? Who is he? Why don't you tell me in the second round? So they keep saying like, no, once we finish the face to face round with the client, then we will disclose. Now I think things have improved, but um, maybe those agencies, those recruitment agencies, never used to disclose the name, but in the uh, job portal, they will write one of the leading bank, one of the leading MNC, and you're still struggling. Okay, they say leading MNC, e-commerce, banking, so you have to keep guessing. But that will just not what they want. They just want something like getting a talent at a very low level, or something at a different salary bracket, or at maybe some other roles which you may not be probably aware of. And lot of things which recruiters try to initially play when they know you are just getting into the market, and how can they really make more calls with you, and they can charge the client or the company accordingly.
Preeti, you would be taking the question answers now, the Q&A.
You can start with Vaibhav's and I'll take on the next one,
Vaibhav.
Amit. Go for it.
We'll go with what Vaibhav had asked initially. Vaibhav, we are coming back to your question now. This is about the challenges that the lady officers, if any, for transitioning out of forces. In fact, this is exactly the sort of details that we just got from Sangha. The only addition that we can now ask her is how much would you recommend the time that should be spent in preparing now that you know that you had a particular experience, and if you had to advise lady officers who are coming out now, what are the challenges that they should look out for? So you can give any three or more if you know of them, and what should they do to prepare for them?
Sure. So first, I want to reply to Vaibhav's question. Vaibhav, the question which you asked is something like, yes, definitely there are challenges when you are doing the transition. Definitely the 8 hour work job or 9 hour is definitely not an issue, but sometimes you come to know like you are joining manufacturing industry which is outskirts, like it can be Hoskote, which is really out of Bangalore, or it can be, I mean, somewhere Bidadi, which are really far from Bangalore. So you spend almost like 3 to 4 hours in travel, and when you come back after 13 hours of travel and office hours, so you don't have any energy for your family, right? So some of the challenges, like when we pick up some industries, we have to really look and balance both, the personal and the professional. And coming up to Colonel Amit's question, he asked me any thing which I would like to suggest here for lady officers. So the first thing I would like to say, like, is unlock your talent. So what we keep hearing, not specific to our lady officer, but generally about women candidates when they apply for any job. I mean, there is a survey which is done saying that if the job is posted on the portal, you will get out of 20 CVs, even internal in the company, I'm talking about internal in the company, there will be at least 15 to 16 men applying for the job internally. You will not find more than two or three female employees applying for it. So the reason was like they will read all the job description, they will see whether I'm matching all the 10 points as given in the job description. Unless and until they are confident of all those points, they will not dare to go for interview. Somehow they feel like if I get rejected in the interview, maybe it is not a good internally in the company. I may become popular. Like I went for the interview and people, I was not fit for the role, and so it's better for me to stay safe and I will not apply any internal jobs. Even external, when we see, we attract very less women profiles. If you see any generic job, yes, definitely there are a lot of profiles which come from candidates outside male candidates, but women candidates are not much applying for the jobs unless and until they're very clear. So what here I would like to say is like you have to really unlock your talent. You have to really do that SWOT analysis, what we call strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Definitely, out of 10, you need not have all the 10 qualities. If you're also expecting, like, no, if you're also meeting 8 7, the rest 3 can be taken care when you join the company during your onboarding. This is what we keep telling internally to our women employees, even to the external candidates. I mean, somebody like saying no in the job fair, no, 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 we don't meet manufacturing criteria, it's very tough the way your job descriptions are there. We don't even try to understand all the points, so we don't apply when you talk about those. So my thing is here, like, really need to understand, like, no, it's nobody meets all 10 out of 10. It is just 7 or 8 of those bullets which anyone, like it's a male candidate or a female candidate, they must be feeling really confident and then they apply. So we keep stressing this point again and again with the women candidates.
Thank you so much for that, Sanghamitra. Here is the next question, and this is from Commander Manan Sinha. The flair of your words is indicative of your passion to excel. What, in your opinion, is the most satisfying experience in civil world if given a chance choice to select between mentoring future generation or bringing in management practice and ethical valuation?
If I have to select one, if I have a choice between these two questions, so I think mentoring future generations. Because they are the one who really do a lot of multitasking. They are the one who don't feel like even if you give them a lot of work. I mean, they try to finish their work. They show their productivity, and sometimes they say like, "I have accomplished this target which you have set up for 6 months. I have shown you the result in the just within 2 months." So these future generations are really coming up with a lot of talent, and the only thing which they lack is maybe mentoring. So if you guide them, mentor them, they will be growing good internally in the organization, and they will be really an asset to the team there.
Right, okay. And I think Amit, you can take on this next one. I'm pulling it right up for you just now. There you go.
It's come to us from somebody from the LinkedIn. What were the prime challenges that you encountered in your first job after transitioning, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so here the challenge for me when I joined the first corporate. So I was not much aware. Like I'll have travel part. like when many people apply from the outside world, the female candidates, I mean, they say, no, I don't want to travel. Travel is just no for me. I can't travel in the bus, I can't travel in the train. So there will be a lot of friction. They say, no, give me an office job. So when I joined for this job, for me, this thing was never in my mind. I just took up this job because this role was giving me some visibility for the next 3 to 5 years. So I said, okay, let me join for the job. And you'll not believe, Colonel Amit, when I joined this job in the 5 years of my first job, 5 years, I used to travel every week. I mean, I used to travel every week. I had a baby of 1 year. I mean, I used to travel. So one day, my senior vice president, he called me and he said, "You never complained. I mean, you never complained of your challenge. How do you manage?" Finally, I want to know about that because a lot of people in the HR keep talking about how does this girl manage? Uska shoe ka size kya hai? Some things like people keep asking. So I say, yeah, I have a baby. So I take my baby also along with me to travel. So they say, how do you manage? I say, because you have given me the southern part of colleges to hire recruitment. So it's all overnight journey. So I can go to Chennai in 5 hours. I can go to Hyderabad in 10 hours. There is a good train connectivity. I can book nice ticket. I can keep my baby next to me. And how do you manage after reaching there? I say, no, I take a caretaker. I take my mother sometime along with me. She manages whole day my kid in the guest room, which we get there. And I go and I do my whole day job. I do a lot of industry academia collaboration where I used to really travel to those universities. I used to really work with them to create a curriculum. So, I mean, it was a crazy travel. Every week I used to travel with my kid. It never came to me even as a problem because, in army you have seen leaving your kid out. I mean, wahan to option ही नहीं था taking your kid to some areas. I was so glad here I have an option. I have a train. I have a guest room which is so well furnished. Everything is cooked there. Why should I complain of anything? So I mean, like he was so happy. Then he said, "Okay, now we are collaborating in northern part of India with some of the universities, like in Agra, Dalbagh, or some of the universities. So are you okay to take on this project?" I said, "I'm fine." By that time, my daughter was almost like 2.5 years. I said, "Now she says I don't want to come because she's now grown up, so I can take. So no issue." I mean, there were challenges initially when I was taking up this role, but you never come to know like it's a challenge. It's like when your peer they start telling you, "Oh, why are you traveling? Why this role needs so much?" I mean, I would have never done this, but you learn so much with the external customers outside of your organization. They keep talking to you, they keep interacting with you, and you get a lot of learning back to your organization. So it is a good conversion when you really help to grow in that organization.
So, connected with that
I
is this
think
other question which says, what approach do you adopt to achieve the work life balance that you spoke of earlier? So, here was the specific incident when your daughter was very young. Now, what is it that you do to maintain that work life balance? Because now she will be in a different stage, studies hai, school hai, this hai, that hai. How do you manage to do that?
Yes, very valid question. So I think this is the most important reason for me to move out of manufacturing industry because I used to spend 13 hours in travel, local travel, just going to company and coming back 13 hours in the Bangalore traffic. So I used to really feel I'm not adding value because the 5 hours, 4 hours which I'm losing in travel, I thought if I move to some company in Bangalore, I can really, spend quality of time with my family. So I mean, I was really looking out that time, and I also had my second kid, and then though I can't take two kids with me to any of the campus. So people will say like this girl has come with a family, two kids for the campus hiring and other things. So I said one kid still can be managed, two kids no. So I started looking out for opportunities within Bangalore. I was very clear I have to look something 10 to 15 kilometers at least to the place where I can drive by myself. I don't have to depend on company transport in the early morning to till late night. Okay, so I was looking at those opportunities, and again I got to this second company, Caterpillar. And again, I would like to tell, like it is again through referral. Through referral, the job came in LinkedIn. I went to the LinkedIn portal. I saw one colonel working in there, so I reached out to him. I said, "Can you help me in just putting my profile to the talent team there? Rest I'll take care of it." He just referred my profile, and then they called me for interviews. When you apply on LinkedIn, it just doesn't get noticed. So when you go through referrals, it adds a lot of value. And a lot of organization inside, they have these referral programs. I mean, they keep saying like refer your friend, you will get attractive, maybe what you say, like some money worth 10,000, 20, depends on diversity, depends on like the role, higher level, mid level, and all those things. So definitely he referred me, and finally everything went on there, and this was very close to my residence, and I could really join the company and I could learn there. The role was different again. The travel was not local again. The travel was global. I used to travel to a lot of regions, China, no, to other Europe, to US, and that was my first international travel. Till date, I've never done any travels out of India. So my friends still, my first company friends still, call me and they say, "How are you taking your kids now on the international tour?" I say, "No, I can't take them anymore because I can't afford to take them along with me because my entire salary will go in booking the tickets because I have to travel every 2 months, 3 months, quarterly to China. China was like my next home with lot of supply chain and logistic base we had there. So I said no. My elder kid has grown. My daughter has grown. Now she's taking care of the brother. So I'm blessed to have good support family system. So not a difficult for me to manage this role.
Thank you so much for that. I'm sure Amit has a question and then I'll wrap it up for today. Amit, anything jumping out from all of this? It's over to you and then I will wrap it up. All yours. Amit, I think he is having some kind of technical issues. I think he is. I'm sure he'll come by and by. So thank you so much for that. Those insights, pretty amazing, pretty darn amazing, I must say. And Amit is back, I think. Amit, are you here? Nah, not yet. Okay, never mind. So yes, he seems definitely to be having some kind of technical glitch. So yeah, those insights I'm saying amazing in terms of all the improvisations, all the ups and downs, and all of that you've managed. You've sort of um, very well sort of balanced between your work and your family life, and that sort of seems to have played to your strengths also of being able to go with the flow and make things up as you go along, so that is pretty commendable. Amit, if you're back, anything to add? No, definitely. I think Bombay, something or the other keeps on happening. So we are good at least, we've had such a long, nice conversation. Finally, as a parting comment, Sanghamitra, thank you so much, first of all, for being with us here today. As a parting comment, any advice, any guidance, anything at all to the audience that is going through any sort of transition at this point in time, not just for the veterans, but it could be any transition to for any professionals, any students, any people that have lost a job or going through those kind of transitions as well. What would you say to anybody out there listening to you today? Over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So, my few tips, at least I can suggest, which I was thinking what I should be wrapping up no, today's session with good advice. So, first thing I want to say, unlock your talent. You have to start building your network. Network LinkedIn is a very efficient and great platform. Nothing can beat LinkedIn in terms of networking. So, please try to connect to the people who you feel comfortable with, who are trying to spend time or trying to understand your transition. And also, if you apply for a company ABCD, suppose, you can even reach out to the people in your network who would have served with the company in the past. Because sometimes if somebody approach me for my first company to give some kind of a referral, I still have the contact. So you don't have to really think like Sangha is not in the ABCD company and I'm applying for the ABCD. How will she apply? In the past, I would have done no, some kind of a work for the organization. So definitely I can refer, I can do that support to you, and I'll be glad to do so. Try to connect even with the ex-employees of those companies because the big organizations always comes up with some job opportunities. And second, I would like to say, like, participate in more of the local platforms which happens in your city, like webinars, seminars, because when you go out, see people, talk with them, you will understand about what is that they're talking, what is their language, what challenges they're talking about, is it making any sense. More you interact physically in the seminars, it is really going to add. And once the people see you, they really try to connect with you. When you reach out to them on LinkedIn, they remember, oh, I had a chance to meet him in Mumbai in some hotel. Definitely, yes. So that builds up a lot of credibility. Without meeting a person or seeing a person, it is not very effective. Even if you say like, hello, I was there with you in that seminar, do you recollect? If not, still okay. So I'm just trying to connect with you more on this job opening. I mean, they really feel, I mean, they may not be able to connect, they say sorry, but still they will try to help you out to their best whatever they can do. And you need to also
Okay.
try to keep your social networking. You should start picking up your hobbies, like if you have anything like writing, if you have any, because you'll not get some time a week off where you can write all your hobbies, all you can publish your articles, everything you can do it in a week of time. So whatever time you have in between, try to keep exploring how can I make my talent broadcast to the wider people out there, because people are silent, people are reading you, people are observing you. They know what are you talking about. I mean, they will not comment, they will not give any reaction, but people are reading. That is really very effective way to connect through your words, through your articles, or try to kind of have some local circles of your HR security groups in the region, where you can really go and catch up them over dinner or something, over a coffee. Because even the 2 minutes, 2 hours really makes a lot of difference. People say, "Oh yeah, we had a last time some meet, so let's connect again." And my
Thank you
last
so
thing,
much.
my
Yeah,
last
good.
thing,
Go ahead. Yeah.
which I would like to give from HR is like we have a very good leadership coach in HR, Marshall Goldsmith, and
Yeah.
he's one of the book is very famous, which says, "What got you here won't get you there." He keeps talking about upgrading, upskilling, getting yourself trained to the next level. Keep the target high so that you don't have to really say like I have done everything now. I can grow for the next 10 years. So there is a lot of insights in the book. It is one of the very highly recommended book for HR community. And we also, when we talk with our leaders, we keep talking about this like advice, coaching about the books, the great books which are there out in the market.
Thank you so much for that. And Amit is back. I'm sure he has a question for you as his parting question. And Amit, if you can hear us, it's
Yeah, I
over
joined
to
back.
you before I say our buys and all of that. So over to you, Amit.
Sangat, it's been an amazing interaction with you. And again, it's all about the experience that you have and you're willing to share. And the sort of journey that you have had is inspiring. The part which I would like to sort of close our interaction today on is if you had to give an advice, and this is like no holds barred advice. If people said that they can still go through with transition only by preparing for resumes and interviews and not being visible on a social platform like LinkedIn, do you think they would be able to succeed in their transition?
I was not able to hear clearly, Colonel Amit. Can you repeat the question?
Sanga, I'll say again, there are people who believe that they can prepare resumes and prepare directly for interviews offline. They don't want to really have an online presence. And even if they had online, they want to apply through all these job portals, Naukri, Indeed, Shine. There's a huge list of them now. But they avoid LinkedIn. Their understanding is that if they are seen on LinkedIn, it may
Yeah.
not be as productive as what's being talked about. And there is a larger population on of veterans on WhatsApp than on LinkedIn. That's the truth. So, what would you advise? Because many of these people are listening in. That's been our general view of the quite a few previous veteran spotlights. Preeti will bear me out that we will have about say 1,000 views, but not more than 10 veterans will comment. So there are a lot of veterans who are listening in right now. What would you want to tell them who are not visible on LinkedIn? How
Sure.
would they be able to leverage this platform?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Amit, this will be yeah. Sanghamitra, just a moment, Amit. This will be totally in continuation with what she has just said. She was making a beautiful point about LinkedIn, and so happy, and I'm so glad that you raised this point because now she can
Okay.
really add what she wants to say, and without mincing any words. Over to you,
Yeah,
Sangha.
definitely. So at least one of the survey on LinkedIn, it says like, suppose if LinkedIn has 1,000 people, not all of them are active. Uh, I mean, their profile is not active. They don't post anything or they don't tag. It is just like their interest is different. I mean, they should have a profile when they actually need it. They make use of it. So it is not on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis. So they are very silent on LinkedIn. Suppose if in my company, if we come up with some job opportunity, it's not only LinkedIn platform where we are dependent on. So we have a lot of other platforms, Naukri, Monster. So where HR doesn't target only LinkedIn platform community, people who can see the rec opening there. So we reach out to these portals as well. And also the one of the good point here is like we also reach out to the consultants. And these consultants, especially many of the companies, they reach out to these consultants when they have to hire at mid level and at a senior level. So consultants will have lot of information, and there are a lot of consultants well established who try to look into the database, and they try to connect you with the candidate, and they try to pull out those profiles. You don't pay them anything until and unless you finally uh, um, finalize the talent for you. So I suggest like somebody who is not really active on LinkedIn, because they must be feeling, no, I should not tag on all the job openings, I should not really be applying from LinkedIn. So what should I be doing? So you have to really then look at these consultants who are really very confidential, and they really try to help you out till the time you get any job. I mean, they will not say like, I'll only help you for 2 or 3 openings, and then you have to really get to LinkedIn or something. I mean, there are a lot of consultants who in the offline try to help you and try to loop you. And a lot of times it so happens like I may get from consultant some job opening which I'm not interested, so I pass it on to others, so they can reach out to the consultant because they're not really
Sangha,
interested to LinkedIn.
Amit had a different angle on this whole take. What he was trying to essentially say was there are all the veterans who are lurking on LinkedIn. What he was trying to say was they think that just by writing resumes and putting them blindly applying to jobs that come out, they will get those jobs. But the point he was trying to make was they probably may be scared of being visible and being vocal on LinkedIn. So his point was, what will be your advice to such veterans who are there on LinkedIn but who do not write anything, say anything, do anything, and think they will get everything just by applying to jobs? Am I right in understanding the Amit, or do you want to put it in other words?
Yeah, the if the addition here is that their understanding of networking is to send a message and send a CV in the next message. That they are using LinkedIn only as a direct networking tool, and they don't really know how to make more use of it.
Yeah, okay. So on the LinkedIn, there are a couple of options where you can reach out to the recruiter, and there is a LinkedIn Premium where you can. I think you need to pay something, and you will get access as a premium. So where nobody will see whom you are visiting, whose profile, and you get a lot of access to some of those recruiters where they have a privacy saying that you can't connect with us until you are LinkedIn Premium. So those things can definitely help them, because it will not be much of public visibility. It will be quality of reaching out to the right person, and not showing you are reaching out to multiple peoples in public, and you will get lot of other visibility where LinkedIn has got lot of locks. Um, on some of the job openings, on some of the recruiters, you really can't connect without those things. So I think some of those things which you can, if you try to get access of things, maybe it really helps you on LinkedIn. Though you are there, you have a CV, you have a everything with you, but reaching out, you don't want to be in public. It can be definitely connected in offline.
Okay,
I
so to
think the
each
idea
their
that
own.
you're saying
We
here
let's
is
just
that,
leave it at that for now.
yeah,
We can carry this conversation another time. But sorry, Amit, you were saying something. I'll let you finish that.
I'm saying that what Sangha has brought out the point here is that he is not just mentioning about reaching out with your CVs to the job portals or applying to the companies and referrals. He has given another advice that there are consultants out there whose job it is to reach out to companies with good candidates. If you are the right candidate and you know the right consultant, your ability to get the job would be that much easier. The point is, where do you find these recruiters or these consultants? Now, that's the process which I think is very individual for everyone, and that's how people will take their own time. Some people will do it faster,
Yeah.
some people may take more time and take, yeah,
Absolutely
Preeti.
spot on, both of you. And with that, I think we have gone way ahead of our time today. So I think we shall call it a wrap. Sangha, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here
so much.
today, for spending your Monday evening with us. Dear attendees, dear audience, thank you so much for coming out, asking those questions, making those comments. Amit, thank you for being here today, for supporting me. Echo Events, my dear friend Ankit, thank you so much for this stream. Last but not the least, this is me, Preeti Chaudhary, with Sangha and Amit. saying adios until next time. Look out for a veteran corporate integration coming out very soon and several other initiatives. Until then, do take care and be safe.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye.